Ah!
Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, arguably one of the better Kingdom Hearts games in terms of story. While personally I wouldn't play this game for fun on my own time, I still think Kingdom Hearts TCG is a pretty cool concept nonetheless. Honestly, the people who complain about the combat in this game are the same beginner mode players who mash X. There, I said it. Also, I'm a Kingdom Hearts 2 elitist who likes to beat the game in critical mode and call myself badass because of it, so there's also that. But anyways, more importantly, the reason why you're here is because this game's story is in fact kick-ass. It deals with a lot of psychological and mental aspects, such as Riku's identity crisis, betrayal, and manipulation. Trust me, Kingdom Hearts used to be a little toxic. I'll explain why in a bit.
Let's go!
But more importantly, the main topic I want to discuss is the gaslighting that Sora deals with.
You don't care about me, just like you never cared. At all. About her feelings.
Castle Oblivion? More like Gaslight to Oblivion. Huh.
Guess it really is Castle Oblivion.
Now the reason why Chain of Memories is my favorite K-drama of all time is because when you really put things into perspective, Kingdom Hearts' story on a surface level is pretty generic and simple. Bear with me. Kingdom Hearts is none other than a classic story trope of damsel in distress. Some boy likes this girl. The girl disappears or gets kidnapped. Now the boy has to go and rescue this girl and overcome the many obstacles that come his way. Chain of Memories highlights this a little too well. Sora is literally trying to save a girl from a castle. I mean, come on, what is this, Sleeping Beauty?
Come on. Let's go.
You know what? I'm just gonna say it right here. I miss Sora and Riku's old relationship. I mean, these two guys used to be rivals, survival of the fittest. They're literally on an island with like at least 6 people. It used to be all like, oh, I'm gonna impress Kairi and show her how crafty and intelligent I am by building this raft and beating you in a race. She'll pick the guy who's the fastest, duh. Then there's Riku. Hey Sora, I'm gonna share a Pow Pow fruit with Kairi. What, giving up already? Did he just suddenly stop having feelings for Kairi? What am I missing here? What, as soon as you turn evil, women are no longer relevant to a man? I love the dynamic and contrast they have here in Chain of Memories. They're both competing against each other to see who can woo the girl over. And it's crazy because initially this girl doesn't even care if either of them get hurt.
Does it hurt, Namine? Watching your 2 childhood friends fight, all because of you.
Sora. Good try.
Huh?
That must be a fake. I've got the real one right here.
2 of them?
She'll just take the winner. It's pure entertainment for her. Cause she's supposed to be a witch. However, a funny but not so funny detail I noticed is that during one of the very first cutscenes, you'll see Namine and beside her a literal birdcage with her trapped inside of it. I mean, you can interpret it however you want. Personally, I think it represents the fact that she's lonely and being used, and has been reduced to nothing more than the organization's pet, with the goal in mind that Sora will soon join her inside that birdcage, to play a similar role for them. I particularly love Chain of Memories Sora, because it truly shows that Sora can have flaws too as a character. He's subject to being manipulated. He might be a strong fighter, but is he strong both physically and emotionally?
You really are a hero. A heartless hero.
Who asked you?
Oh, does it hurt because it's the truth?
Tell you the truth? Namine doesn't even want to look at your face.
Why not?
It's funny because naturally human beings are more emotional than logical. In this case, Sora loses his ability to think logically.
What am I supposed to do?
Thanks, Sora.
He gets angry and blames his friends when things aren't going his way.
Sora, that was no way to...
Keep it to yourself!
In fact, he's even willing to hurt his best friend.
I think I'll jog your memory.
In Sora's head, it all makes sense, and he justifies his actions with his feelings, and the fact that he has to save Namine at all cost.
I can't leave. Now that I remember the promise, I have to keep it.
Of course. We understand, Sora.
Cause that's his girl, man. Sora is conflicted, in which he even begins to question his own sanity throughout his journey in the castle.
I hate this. Did I do something? Is it my fault?
Albeit, it mostly has to do with the fact that he's being gaslighted by the people around him. For instance, Riku blames Sora for not saving Namine, or even goes as far as saying that he never even cared for Namine in the first place.
You never cared. It never mattered to you!
Every organization member pokes fun at him and tries to make him look like he's crazy.
You're such an idiot. There is no promise, and there never was. You're just delusional. Must you insist on playing the hero?
A debt? Sora, do you owe something to this guy?
Come on, of course not.
Oh, but you do.
Namine, a girl he likes, is lying to him.
No, Sora. You can't believe me.
And of course, everyone is constantly making him doubt his memories.
I'm wrong. Fine, then don't believe me.
Ultimately though, they're also exploiting Sora's strengths and weaknesses, in which they straight up play with his emotions. Namine has access to all his memories, so surely she has a pretty good understanding of Sora's psyche. The cool thing about Sora is that he's kind of a jerk, although it doesn't come naturally to him. Well, essentially, he's a nice guy, but he also knows how to not be a nice guy. He's both willing and capable of hurting the bad guys.
I'm a bad guy, so you have to go through me.
If it means saving his friends, whether that be from a selfish or non-selfish point of view. There's even a moment in which Sora offers himself as sacrifice in order to protect Namine from Marluxia.
So just do it! Erase my memories! Destroy my heart! I promised! I'll always protect you! You have to believe me!
I think it's something cool to appreciate, because for the most part Sora is a very forgiving character towards everyone.
You don't mind?
Should I?
So of course it's a treat to see another side of him, because it makes him that much more interesting. Nobody respects a nice guy who can't stand up for himself. Still, one of my favorite scenes is Sora abandoning both Donald and Goofy. Despite all that, they come back to his rescue. Then Sora finally recognizes how much he values and needs both of them. Generally speaking, it's pretty difficult to navigate through life alone. Here is where Sora realizes just how much he's been prioritizing some girl over his two best pals. It's always important to have a couple of reliable friends who will be there for you, despite any form of arguing. Sometimes when you're mad and undergoing a lot of stress, you say things you regret or don't actually mean. Of course, Donald and Goofy recognized that and forgave Sora, because he was basically Namine's puppet during that whole time. It's funny, I mean, Sora and Riku used to have this cool dynamic, basically a Sasuke and Naruto relationship for a lack of better phrasing. Crazy to think what Kingdom Hearts would have looked like if Riku wasn't reformed or whatever. Though I suppose it was for the best. Still, I can't help but feel like people overlook or forget the fact that Sora and Riku used to be rivals, not necessarily best friends. Personally, I miss it, but oh well, it is what it is. In the end, Sora is able to overcome this mental battle because he realizes that although his memories might be fake, his emotions are real.
In my head, I know they're lies. But they still feel right.
If you remain bound by the chain of memories and refuse to believe what is truly found inside your heart, then throw it away. You are not a Keyblade master, just a slave to twisted memories.
Every word you've said is a lie!
In which case, he's able to come to the self-realization of who and what to fight for. I still like this game a lot, because it shows that not every battle or conflict necessarily has to be a physical one. Everyone deals with internal conflicts from time to time. So I guess you could say that Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories is about making a promise and adhering to it until the end in order to move forward in life.
All that hard work is gone.
Take another guess.
What?